Want to welcome everybody in right now. Just connected to my YouTube audience. I haven't been with y'all in about a week. I've been outside of the country, so it is glorious to be back with y'all tonight, doing a little show here on the eve of the NBA draft, and we got so many things to talk about tonight. We got Anthony Davis going to pretty much the Brooklyn, not to Brooklyn, actually. Anthony Davis is, in fact, a Los Angeles Laker. It seems like everybody's going to Brooklyn nowadays, but it's great to be with you guys. I should have an Anthony Davis video, but for some reason, the Anthony Davis video is not exactly working at said time, so I'm going to try to figure it out as we go along in the broadcast. Maybe you might not be able to put on two videos, but just excited about this trade, and I'm excited about the NBA right now. The NBA is really freaking dominating right now. Just so many different trades. So first, Mike Conley. So Mike Conley Jr., a guy out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Mike Conley goes to the Utah Jazz, and now this trade for the Utah Jazz is a very interesting trade because this makes Mike Conley Jr., kind of a threat in the Utah Jazz organization, and I will explain why right now. I'll take off my headphones and get even more articulate, or I'll try to become more articulate with this transaction. So basically, Mike Conley Jr., the reason why this is an interesting trade is because it makes Mike Conley, it basically is Utah Jazz signaling that we want to freaking win now. And with Donovan Mitchell, with the injuries to Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, the Utah Jazz have been in absolute purgatory. You know, they've had Kyle Korver, they had Donovan Mitchell, they have Rudy Gobert on their roster, but are they trying to win a championship? And this move is a great move because Donovan Mitchell isn't a natural point guard. His position at Louisville was a shooting guard. So now you bring in Mike Conley, the nicest guy in the world, Mike Conley, the ultimate teammate, the ultimate NBA veteran, the ultimate small market guy that is really content living in Utah, living in Memphis, and he's never made an NBA All-Star team ever in his damn life, and he should have made an All-Star team probably. One of the more unappreciated guys in basketball, Mike Conley. So I like this trade from the Utah Jazz perspective because what did Utah really give up for Mike Conley? Utah needs to make a move eventually. What did Utah give up? And what they ended up giving up, pretty much. I don't really think they gave up a lot, to be completely frank with y'all. I don't think that the Utah Jazz really gave up a lot here for Mike Conley Jr. because Utah gave up Grayson Allen. Yes, Grayson Allen had a great end of the year. That's the only one that's going to bite them in the ass is if Grayson Allen is a really good NBA player. And the Memphis Grizzlies, could that be their new shooting guard? Let me look up how old Jay Crowder is, okay? Jay Crowder is 28 years old, okay? If we look at his basketball reference page, he's a guy that last year averaged points per game is 9 points per game. When he was with Cleveland, he averaged 8. He played in Boston for several years, and that was pretty much his peak of his career. But Jay Crowder, a 3-point percentage guy, 3-point percentage from the field last year. He made 2 out of every 6 3-pointers. So I wish we could get a 3. His 3-point percentage is 33% from 3, which isn't that great. His field goal percentage is 39%. He's not a good shooter. Now, Kyle Korver is a good shooter, but Kyle Korver's probably on the back half of his career. So is Utah really going to miss Kyle Korver? Maybe a little bit, but Kyle Korver is 38 years old. So basically, Kyle Korver's just about done. You know what I mean, guys? So really, Grayson Allen's the one dude where that guy might actually be pretty good, okay? Grayson Allen last year, they let Grayson go crazy at the end of last year. Grayson Allen could just be a D-League player. He could absolutely suck. He's a complete unknown, but maybe Memphis is convinced that Grayson Allen's going to be really, really good. And also Memphis gets rid of the $37 million of Mike Conley's contract. So maybe that was their motive all along. So meanwhile, guys, let's see what y'all are saying here. I always got the Sam Darnold freaking thing on my page. And Ryan, the great news for you, pal, my main man, Ryan Presley. How come I am not at the SBC? What is SBC, Malls? What does that even mean, SBC? I don't even know what that means. Is that some kind of cricket tournament? I don't know what that means. Ronaldo, how are you, man? The NBA draft's coming up pretty soon. I don't really know what the SBC is. It doesn't mean SEC Media Days, because I do. Oh, the sports broadcast camp. Yes, sir. Is that going down in Baltimore this week? But meanwhile, yeah. So unfortunately, I just didn't really sign up in time. I should have done that. For my SBC fans that are out there, the sports broadcast camp, Ryan Presley is one of those guys that was incredibly impressive, that was at the sports broadcasting camp. And I'm sure, Malls, that your nickname on there means something. I'm sure that you have a name, and I can put a name to a face. But anyhow, about Mike Conley Jr., I think that Utah made a really good move. Memphis, I'm excited about Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen's going to have to show out for this trade to mean any value. And then at number 23, Memphis is going to have to get a pretty good player. Now Memphis has cap space. Overall, I don't hate the move, but I think you could have absolutely gotten more for Conley. I think Memphis could have done a lot better. Memphis could have traded Conley to the Boston Celtics, because that's where I really wanted Conley to go. Because now with Rozier and Kyrie Irving leaving Boston, now with Rozier and Kyrie Irving leaving Boston, Mike Conley would have fit in like a glove in Brad Stevens' system. Mike Conley is from the state of Indiana. You need a smart point guard in Boston. You could have kept Al Horford. Imagine Conley pick and roll with Al Horford. Conley's a professional. He would be, I think, one of the best point guards in the Eastern Conference. And even for Boston, he might even be a better point guard than Kyrie Irving. Who's a better point guard than Conley? Do you think Ben Simmons is a better point guard than Conley? No. I still would take Conley over Kyle Lowry. Conley's a better player. He's a 21 point per game scorer. He's like an 8 rebound, 8 assist guy. Mike Conley is absolutely the true professional. He is going to add a lot to Utah. So I really like that move, the Mike Conley move. Now let's talk about the big guy, Anthony Davis. So meanwhile, about Mike Conley, really the Memphis Grizzlies need Grayson Allen to be fucking great. And also, you know what else Memphis needs? They need to draft someone at number 23, because Korver and Jay Crowder, who gives a shit about those guys? You're moving those guys. Korver's too damn old. You should have traded Conley to Boston for Jaylen Brown. You should have asked about Jason Tatum. You should have asked about, possibly getting better picks than the number 23 overall pick. I don't think you got back anything, because Crowder is not good, and Kyle Korver's old as shit. So basically, you got Grayson Allen. And can Grayson Allen be awesome? Who knows? Last year, you got a worse player in Marc Gasol. You traded a worse player in Gasol for Valanciunas, and you got back DeLone Wright, and both of those guys are pretty damn good players. Now, maybe people were scared because of Conley's contract, but I think Utah made out really well here. I think Utah did sensational, and Grayson Allen is a huge risk anyway. Dude, Kid Blue, it literally, I'm sorry about this. It's getting pretty rocky here on my feed. But for some reason, the Sam Darnold thing that comes up on my feed, I don't know why that's always coming up on my feed, but it is, because that is the set in profile picture when I go live. So I need to freaking change that. It makes me seem like I am obsessed with Sam Darnold. And holy shit. Brandon Rogers, how are you? I don't know why the thing is glitching. It sucks that it's glitching right now. I'll try. Let me even make this page even shorter. There we go. It might even work out better now. There you go. You could see my face, and we could talk about some Anthony Davis now. So my friend Brandon Rogers is here. Jimmy Butler might be going to Houston, Texas, because Jimmy Butler is from Houston, Texas, okay? Jimmy Butler from the state of Houston, Texas. Maybe Jimmy Butler will go to the Houston Rockets, but for Jimmy Butler, why would he want to play with James Harden? Why would he want to play with ISO Harden? And also, Jimmy's not that great of a three-point shooter. I don't think that move would really be great for Houston at all. Jimmy Butler is very useful in Philadelphia. He's the mature player in Philly. The fans love him here. Why would he want to go to Houston? Could Chris Paul be moved? That's also rumors that we also hear all the time. Chris Paul has a huge contract. I think he's making $21 million. I think the guy's like maybe 37 years old. Who would want an aging Chris Paul? But Chris Paul wants more responsibility. Maybe the Lakers look into a Chris Paul trade. That is a possibility. But let's talk about Anthony Davis. I think that the New Orleans Pelicans made out like bandits in this deal. Even though Anthony Davis and LeBron, maybe they could compete in the West, maybe they could win a championship, the point is Anthony Davis was going to leave anyway. The Lakers could have waited 1 year. They could have kept Lonzo. They could have kept Brandon Ingram. They could have kept those players. And it wasn't just about the players. They give away the number 4 overall pick, which could have been Darius Garland, a terrific point guard out of Vanderbilt. So they give away number 4, and then they give away 2 more first-rounders and swaps for about 5 more years. That is absolutely absurd. They could have kept all their draft capital. They could have kept everything. And if the Lakers would have waited until the middle of the year, New Orleans would have been absolutely desperate. They probably would have taken just like 1 first-round pick, and the Lakers could have got the number 4 overall pick, and the Lakers could have got Anthony Davis in the middle of the season. The Lakers gave up way too much. New Orleans absolutely bullied them. The director of operations, David Griffin, absolutely hammered the shit out of the Los Angeles Lakers. I'll tell you what. What's his name? Griffin? David Griffin absolutely went and he obliterated the living crap out of the LA Lakers and out of Rob Pelinka. Pretty much you have Davis, you have Kyle Kuzma, but overall for New Orleans, I'm loving this team. You have Lonzo Ball at number 4. You're probably going to trade that pick to the Atlanta Hawks. You're probably going to get a Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, by the way, out of Kentucky is the next Klay Thompson. You could draft a Cam Johnson. You could draft good players later down the line, but New Orleans now holds the cards. New Orleans also is in talks with Boston. I believe that Jaylen Brown, because Boston doesn't have a point guard, Boston is desperate to get Darius Garland out of Vanderbilt. The Boston Celtics will trade Jaylen Brown to the New Orleans Pelicans for the rights to the number 4 pick. That thing is absolutely coming. It's going to be incredible. Then New Orleans is going to have Jaylen Brown, who's a terrific two-way player. You're going to have Lonzo Ball, your point guard of the future, and this thing is going to be freaking spectacular. Then you're going to have Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson, and an option to spend some money in free agency. Willie Cauley-Stein would be perfect. Clint Capella would even be perfect. So watch out for a Clint Capella trade as well. But I believe it's going to be Jaylen Brown for the number 4 pick, and Boston is going to get Darius Garland, and they're going to give away Jaylen Brown because Boston is so desperate. That's the one I'm calling. Jaylen Brown for the number 4 overall pick. Another one that my buddy said is that Jet Central. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to get rid of this right here. So another option that my guy Jet Central said, and I got to give credit to him. This is all from his brain, and you guys should go and subscribe to Jet Central. He has a great channel and a great show. Jet Central said that the San Antonio Spurs are going to trade. The San Antonio Spurs are going to trade DeMar DeRozan to the New Orleans Pelicans for the number 4 pick, and then the Spurs can get a local kid, hometown kid, Jarrett Culver out of Texas Tech. That one could happen as well. So, Ryan, right now, tonight, I am going to work on, with my mock draft, I'm also going to work on Skype. So I'm going to try to get my Skype hooked up to my system in the computer, so it will be amazing. So, Tommy, if you sign Jimmy Butler, you could trade him. That's what the Sixers have to do, but they have to check in with Jimmy Butler in that case. I think it could really hurt the Sixers in the long term, what is going to go down. So maybe I have really shaky Wi-Fi. I'm not sure, guys, why my Wirecast is still pretty blurry. But I also recorded this video as well, so this video could be just recorded, and that could suffice as well. So pretty much my thoughts on the trades today. I think the Utah Jazz, I love what they're doing. They're being aggressive. You looked at what Toronto did. The Utah Jazz are doing that with the Mike Conley deal. I'm so excited to see Grayson Allen in Memphis Grizzly blue playing alongside Ja Morant. Grayson Allen should get 40 minutes next year, and let's see if this kid can play. The thing that pisses me off is sometimes you never can see if a kid's good or not, that the team just refuses to play the kid, and you have to play the kid. Look at Trae Young. Look at how Trae Young this year was played. Look at how Trae Young and Kevin Huerter played a ton of minutes, and the guys got better. Look at how Steph Curry was developed the right way. You have to let kids play. You can't get stuck up in the wins or the losses or the situations. Memphis is a young team. Grayson Allen could be a star. That's the one guy that Grayson Allen could be. You also get Corver and Jay Crowder, some veterans. You get the 23rd overall pick, and now you have $30 million in cap space that is now relieved from Mike Conley. You now have a lot of money in free agency. That's why the trade was made, because you have a lot of money in free agency now to spend for if you're the Memphis Grizzlies. So overall, Memphis needs Grayson Allen to be a good player, and they need to spend that money well. The Utah Jazz already won the trade. They didn't give up that many good pieces on their team. I love what Utah is doing. The Lakers, they're going for it, but they gave up way too much for Anthony Davis. They gave up all those draft picks, and this could be a Brooklyn Nets situation all over again. The Brooklyn Pelicans have a really bright future. Tomorrow night, the Pelicans will get either DeMar DeRozan or Jaylen Brown. That is my prediction. I believe that Jaylen Brown will be a Pelican by nightfall tonight. So overall, the NBA is going batshit crazy. I am going to give you guys my mock draft. It's going to be tonight. And, guys, it's just been really fun checking in with y'all tonight. Why isn't Memphis spending any money this summer, David? Tell me why. Ventura, good seeing you, buddy. Good seeing you. Ventura's a big NBA guy, big Pittsburgh Steeler guy, really good guy. Yep, they're going for it. And the Lakers, couldn't wait. But David Griffin, I love the haul that they got back. I can't wait to see Lonzo. I can't wait to see Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is going to be absolutely special, spectacular. Grayson Allen has matured from his days of being a bully. Grayson Allen has turned over a new leaf. He's a much nicer guy than he used to be. And Grayson Allen, I thought that was all made because he was a Duke player. All that stuff was because he was a Duke guy. He apologized to that Santa Ana kid that played at that University of St. Mary's in the North Carolinians. He apologized to that Elon kid. Grayson Allen used to be, have a tripping problem. But in the NBA, he is humble. He's a good guy. I know guys that know Grayson Allen, and I know Grayson's just a good kid from Jacksonville, a religious, good-natured kid. So I can't wait to see him in Memphis. I'm pumped up for Memphis Grizzlies basketball. I'm also pumped up for freaking Pelicans basketball. Seeing LeVar Ball going on ESPN, having fun. LeVar Ball is just a comedian. LeVar Ball also supports his kids. LeVar Ball makes sports and makes this league better. I like LeVar Ball. I like what he has to say. Okay, LeVar Ball is himself, period. And LeVar Ball is going to act crazy. He's going to say jokes to people on the air. And if you're going to have LeVar on, expect to have some wild commentary because he brings the audience, he brings fans. So if people are going to cry and say LeVar hurts my feelings over how he talks to certain people, LeVar Ball is a character. That's what you get when you get LeVar Ball. You get the character. Okay, so I'm excited for Lonzo. I'm excited for the Balkans, for New Orleans, and this team is the most watched team in the NBA next year. It's going to be the New Orleans Pelicans. The New York Knicks are going to draft RJ Barrett tomorrow, and the Knicks, they pretty much now, with KD maybe going to Brooklyn or the freaking, to Brooklyn or the Warriors, the Knicks really have to punt on this year. The Knicks have to let RJ Barrett, and they really have to let Kevin Knox cook. I mean, Kevin Knox was injured last year. Kevin Knox was a massive, massive disappointment. So, overall, guys, it was fun today. I hope the feed wasn't too blurry. It's great to be back with you guys on Rover Sports. And, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was a very, very good experience that at least I had. At least I had it. So hopefully the feed is not too blurry. I love talking NBA basketball with all of you. And tonight I'm going to release a little mock draft. And tomorrow we might actually have some call-ins. It might be fantastic. So God bless. Have a great night, guys. Peace out. Take care.